What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Batman News Weekly. This is episode 173 in year 4 in the brand new year of 2023. And I have to start off by saying if I sound like shit, it's because I have felt like shit for the last few days. I'm glad we recorded our last episode early because I wouldn't have been able to record that episode, I think, last week. I've been sick since the 26th or so. I don't know what I had. It wasn't COVID. It wasn't the flu. It wasn't strep throat, but it felt like all of that shit. Apparently there's like a virus going around or something like that. And yeah, I don't know what the fuck I had, but it sucked. I did not feel good. And I've been KO'd for the last few days. I had to go to the emergency room.
Dude, I just randomly after work opened my Twitter app. And I just see a update from Juice saying, "Oh, I didn't have going to the ER on my 2023 bingo card." And I just texted him like, "Are you okay? What the fuck is going on?"
It was terrible, man. I watched the fireworks from my bedroom on New Year's Eve. Every year, New Year's Eve kind of just feels like it's another day. Like nothing really special is going on. Nothing really of the case. But yeah, I usually have a live stream or something going on, but I was not good enough to stream. I was not even good enough to work. Like even when I'm sick, I usually try to fight through work, but it was just, I thought I had bronchitis at one point because I had that like horrible coughs where you're like coughing up mucus, like TMI, but like it was bad. And I was just like, man, this fucking sucks. So yeah, my year ended and started kind of shittily with sickness, but it is what it is. We're hopefully that's my shittiness for the year, and maybe I'll have a good year. But how did your New Year's Eve and holidays go, Clay?
Well, me and Abby decided to be proactive in staying away from toxic family members. So we actually rented a hotel literally just for the night. Had sushi, watched a whole bunch of Jack Ryan on Amazon, and just hung out. It was like a mini staycation here in town. But it was nice, a little bit relaxing. And then, the next day was just the next day I actually had off. So I had off both New Year's Eve and New Year's.
Yeah.
So didn't have, any issues with that. But we recorded early before Christmas and then after Christmas for the episodes that were releasing near Christmas and then after Christmas. My Christmas though, I only had off on Christmas and then went right back to work on the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
And that just feels really shitty. Like you get to like relax and stuff on Christmas Day, hang out with family and whatnot, and then all of a sudden like boom. It's like, God damn, I wish there was a little bit of a buffer right after Christmas,
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot different when you work from home too. Like, I mean, obviously I work for myself. Well, I mean, I have an editing job, but I have my own hours and I can kind of do whatever. But the crazy thing was I did my editing job the first week of December. And so I had nothing to worry about. And I was like, oh, I'm going to start working on my new channel. And then I had like a bad week of anxiety. Holidays happened. And then I fucking had, I got sick. And I'm just like, dude, I have not even been able to work on my new channel. Like the plan I had to do has been fucked. Like all of December did not go the way I wanted it. And it's just been kind of shitty. But it is what it is. We're here now. And we're going to talk some Batman because there is a little bit of news. Not a lot. We have some stuff happened this week in comics that I'm just like, ugh, disgusting. So I'm interested to talk about that. But I think let's talk about the biggest topic of, we got some more photos and stuff from Leslie Grace when it comes to Batgirl, a movie that got terminated in 2022 that should have came out in 2022. And we're still talking about it in 2023. And it was some behind the scenes photos of the possible Batgirl suit that we were going to get. What were your thoughts on these?
So this is the second suit, the one that she is predominantly getting at the end of the movie, I would assume, and what would have like been her predominant suit throughout the DCEU. I like this suit. It does resemble a little bit more of the Burnside bat suit a bit as far as like the hue of the purple. And I think it looks good, but I did say that I think this was the stunt suit because the photo that she took It does look like a CW suit.
Yeah,
Very,
looks like a one of those all the cosplayers buy those bodysuits.
yeah,
They're
like
like
the
Samus and stuff like that.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Diva
It's
from Overwatch and stuff like that.
very, very skin tight. Not
Yeah.
a whole like a lot of like detail, but no texture because it's literally all just one fabric.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it is the stunt suit. Because even the bat symbol is kind of just like, here, we're just
Plain.
gonna print this on there, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is something that's probably just like moving a lot. You're not going to really see the detail in it. I thought it was paying more homage to the Batman 66 Batgirl because that was
Oh,
more
okay.
of the
Yeah.
outfit. Because when I first saw it, I was like, why is she wearing Stephanie Brown's Batgirl suit? That looked way more like Stephanie
Oh, yeah.
Brown's.
Yeah.
Now Stephanie does have like the side. She has like under the pits and like on the side of the thighs. I think that's where hers go. But hers is predominantly that brighter purple. Sometimes they mix it with black. But I was like, this doesn't. I personally, out of the two suits, and granted, this one it didn't seem fully formed. I preferred the Burnside, like her first one that we saw. Like that looked really
Yeah.
awesome, especially when it was beat up and she had like the bloody photos. Those
Yeah.
look really awesome. This one, I was just like, oh, okay, they're doing the Batgirl 66 because I think they just kind of wanted to pay homage to the first Batgirl too,
Yeah.
on screen. And yeah, this would have looked cool. And another reason why I do kind of agree with you that it might be the stunt suit or just kind of like a, backup suit is the cowl looked really shitty. Like it did not look, it looked like 3D printed, like
Yeah.
bad.
It, it
So
it looks very, very thin. You can see that there is kind of a pretty significant gap
yeah,
between like her temple and the actual cowl.
yeah.
So I can see. And then also, if you notice, the photo itself is kind of blurry.
Mm.
So we didn't get too much detail on the pieces
Yeah,
that
it's
we
like
did
a,
see.
somebody's on their phone, like, hey, I snuck this on my phone. If you want to share it, now your movie's never gonna happen. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on that set that took photos and have all these behind the scene photos and shit. Now you're saying that there was a behind the scenes video? I didn't see this.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. I think Batgirl News, the Batgirl Film News, the Twitter
Yeah.
account, did share a video. This was the actually looking at it now, it looks like it was just the same
Like action
video.
scene, like that scene. I
Oh
don't have
well,
it pulled up,
actually,
so
we're seeing some more pictures here. It looks like at one point she had what almost looks like a I think it's a Keaton type of mask, but she's wearing like a beanie
okay.
with it also. Don't know like if she was gonna do like recon or whatever at one point, but didn't fully have her suit made. And so, maybe because I think the synopsis said at one point she like was dressing up as Batman for like a costume party or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at what you're saying now. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff.
We get
I mean,
a side by side of her and Firefly though.
yeah, I saw that too. That looks kind of cool. I don't know. I think her Burnside suit just looks way better than the other suit, to be honest. As I'm looking at these other photos, they look like there was going to be some cool stuff, man. But I am okay. I'm sorry for the dings that are going off. I don't know what is happening. I have an iPad here because we had to have our own situation for comics this week because we're still under review. And I've noticed my fucking iPad, the one that I bought, I don't know if they're all like this now, doesn't have a mute button. And I'm getting dings and stuff. And like, do I got to put it on like silence mode? I
You
don't.
have to you have to manually go into your
I'm putting it on
settings,
do not
and
disturb.
I think that also
Yeah.
helps, but you have to manually because I don't necessarily love the fact that everything is connected all the time. Now I get
Yeah.
it. It is great when you absolutely need it, but
Yeah.
when you don't absolutely need it, and I'm right here on my phone, I get a text message and like three other things start beeping
Yeah.
at me
Yeah.
also. That's a little annoying.
Yeah, I don't mind it too much. It's just I never usually have. I usually keep my iPad by my bed because that's where I read my comics, and I'll read them right before I go before I crash out. But since we're doing, we're on a little different situation this week, I was like, oh, I got to bring my iPad to the studio. So Yeah, but it just kept going off. Like my niece is selling Girl Scout cookies, so I'm like, here's a Dimmits. But yeah, so that's pretty crazy. But anyways, moving on from Batgirl, it looks like we also have, of course, more James Gunn news. At one point, this podcast this week or this month is going to have big news because it has been confirmed by James Gunn himself that there is going to be a DC slate, at least partially, coming out this month.
Which is very weird because reports, and again, you should never trust any report that isn't from James Gunn.
Yeah.
But reports had said, on like just reporting off of the call that they had with Gunn, investors, and Zaslav, that he was going to share the slate with WBD in January.
Yeah.
But now it seems that he is actually going to share it with the world. Whether that be all of it or just a little bit, we don't know. But yeah, so there was some of course, people wanting to get clicks at the beginning of the new year, throwing some wild shit out there. And the big one was this whole idea of, oh, we're soon going to get the slate from James Gunn, and Wonder Woman will not be on the slate for 3 whole years.
Yeah.
And of course, people were, had all sorts of reactions to this. First, before I give my reaction, just at the thought about it, of course, James Gunn did already debunk this, but just your idea of it. How do you feel if Wonder Woman was not in the DCU for the first 3 years?
In my opinion, dumb mistake, but the first thing I thought was, I already think of the DCEU as happening now, so I'm including like this coming year as part of it. So, because I think Blue Beetle's going to stay in. There's no telling what's going to happen with Shazam or Aquaman, to be honest. And I think if Flash is really good, I think maybe Ezra just gets recast. There's some news, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But like, there's no telling what's going to happen this year. Like, if every one of these movies was a banger, I think they have a way to include them still. You know what I mean? At least 2 of the 4, I think.
Yeah.
But anyways, so if the rumors are true that Wonder Woman's in this, then she's already in these plans. Like, she's already going to be in Shazam if that is going to actually happen. So she's there. My first thing I did genuinely when I saw this was I typed in Gal Gadot's age, and I think she's like 37. So I'm like, 3 years from now, she'll be 40. She's probably still going to be looking gorgeous. We got her for 10 years. She's fine. Who cares if she's not in the next 3 years? Didn't even worry about it because they probably wouldn't even be able to start filming Wonder Woman for another 2 or 3 years because I think she has like movies lined up.
True. So I thought of something in a different ballpark of ideas. Just like that of Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
The next Wolverine, of course, we now know that Hugh Jackman's going to be reprising his role as Wolverine and everything else. But whoever is going to be the next Wolverine is going to have a hard time because of the fans.
Yeah.
And I think Wonder Woman is going to be in that same boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that because Gal is such a good Wonder Woman, if they had decided, hey, we're going to put her on the back burner because it is going to be like a very looked at role as far as the general audience because they love the movie and because of the fans. So I was thinking, hey, as long as they do put a pretty strong female lead in the Justice League, it doesn't necessarily have to be Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But I understand that them wanting Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I think it was Zaslav himself when he made the announcement of the 10-year plan. He mentioned by name Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So
they were like using their logos and everything.
I think it's very smart to keep the Trinity as possibly a focal point.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a rumor or anything, but I'm just saying you need Wonder Woman in that trifecta. So we'll see. And I know that we have had debates and people are still having discussions on whether this is a full reboot, soft reboot, whatever. But, if that's a possibility of her getting recasted, I think that, you know, it's going to be a big talking point for sure.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of possible recasting or not, let's talk about, I mean, as part of the whole like debunking that James Gunn did, he said, I think in the thing that he was like, I don't know what's going on with Ezra, right? So he said, I
Yes.
don't know this Ezra news that is going on, but I can say that this is false in regards to Wonder Woman not being a part of the DCU for the first 3 years.
Yes.
So that's what he said. But there was also some stuff tied to that, which I believe was, I'm trying to pull it up on Twitter, something along the lines of another tweet, which I don't know if it was connected to the Wonder Woman thing, but because I feel like they're separate, where they were saying that the DCU is going to be a broad, like type of soft reboot, like mixture or some shit. I want the actual quote, but it was something along those lines. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Let's see.
I
Okay,
it
right here,
doesn't
right
ring any
here.
bells.
It was under so this comes from Culture Crave, who I don't even know if this is a real person or if it's just a bot thing. But they said some WB executives are open to the idea of keeping Ezra Miller in the DC universe after the Flash movie. This is via Variety, it says. Under that, it says sources describe James Gunn and Peter Safran's DC plan as a broad but not blanket reset. So, soft reboot is another way to say that, which is what I would prefer, because I've said there are too many good actors in this universe already to recast. And to be fair, a majority of them are women. Like, they're the best. It's Wonder Woman, Harley, or I should say Margot Robbie, Wonder Woman, you know, Gal Gadot. I do not want to lose Amanda Waller. Viola Davis is fucking phenomenal. And so, like, I would love to keep all of them. And then, you know, I saw some clips from Peacemaker again recently. I love that whole cast. Like, they're amazing. I cannot see James Gunn firing his wife. So, like, I think it's just going to be a soft reboot. And I think that's the best thing to do, right? Like, you just ignore the bad shit and you keep going. And people are going to bitch, but those people are going to bitch no matter what. We could do a hard reboot and they're going to still be like, once that first Superman comes out, they'd be like, Henry Cavill was so much better as a Superman. Well, I don't believe this Superman.
I think James has kind of hopefully talked to Zaslav and said, hey, you trust me to do this? You need to trust me 100% to do this. And know that no matter what, the very first movie and then on until I stop making movies for you, there are going to be people who are purposely review bombing our movies. Like, he needs to talk to Zaslav and know, don't be reactionary just because these people are trying to review bomb us. It's literally because they like this other version of what didn't work for you as a studio.
Yeah. It's going to happen. And it sucks that it has to be the brand we prefer, you know, that it's going through all of this shit. But again, this is one of the downsides I'm always going to talk against when it comes to Zack Snyder. He has never come out and publicly talked against those people. He's never said it. He's never come out and be like, look, you guys shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, he's never done a hard stance. I know some people are probably going to be like, well, he kind of said it in this way. I'm like, no, he should come out and say it flat out.
Yeah, I was going to say he said it but didn't say it.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago. But yeah, he has not flat out said, hey, stop doing this because of this. And it's more so, unfortunately, you know, bad press is good press in the sense of he still has his Netflix stuff that all of those cultist fans are going to blow up on Twitter saying, oh, this is better than any DC movie out there when it comes out. And then the next day they'll be like, bring back Zack Snyder's DC. Big giant fucking hypocrites. But it's I wanted to bring up this thing with Ezra because, again, there's so many freaking people. It's not, again, James Gunn clearly has a plan. And you know, the whole thing with keeping Ezra, the execs are saying, hey, we're possibly looking at keeping him. Daniel RPK says, here's the thing. They said executives have no problem keeping Ezra. That's their mistake. Those executives don't really matter. Only Gunn and Safran do.
Yeah.
those same executives wanted Henry Cavill to come back and play Superman again. We saw how that turned out.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I would be shocked if somebody like James Gunn would keep Ezra around. Now, I don't know James Gunn. I don't know him, but I'm just saying, like, the way he's been so outspoken against somebody like
Jared Leto.
Leto, like, I'm just like, why would you keep Ezra around? And I
Yeah.
just, as an outsider looking in, I mean, I've been in a lead position before, and I've seen people that are liabilities, and I'm like, get them the fuck out. Like, they are
Yeah.
ruining the team, and I would not want to keep Ezra around. I don't care how, like, and to be honest, is he really a big star? Like, I don't.
No,
The Fantastic Beast movies didn't do him any good.
No, they did not. And I thought it was so funny. I was scrolling through some of these things when it comes to Ezra and the Flash, and the quote that has been said about the Flash, best DC movie since The Dark Knight. Somebody literally screenshotted every Variety article that has come out for like the past 4 or 5 years with Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Shazam, the Batman. They've all shared the title X movie, best DC movie since The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And it's just the same
regurgitated.
Yes, regurgitated quote. And that doesn't mean that the Flash isn't good.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give a whole lot of weight when, when they keep sharing it over and over and over again.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I mean, you could probably do that for a lot of things, right? Like, I mean, CBR uses the same. It's all for clicks nowadays, right? Like, there's not genuinely good journalism out there when it comes to like the superhero stuff, right? Like, it's all about getting advertisers or getting people to the page to click on those ads and stuff like that, or just to view the ads. I mean, same thing. That's just how the game plan on YouTube is, right? Like, I do a lot of YouTube, and it's like, you gotta get somebody to click on the video. What is it gonna do? That was so easy back in the day when I was doing Batman shit. You know what I mean? It's like, you knew the things to put out there. If it was Gotham, just throw Jerome in the cover and boom, you're going to get clicks no matter what. If it was the Flash during the times of Savitar or Reverse Flash, you throw them on the thumbnail, bada bing, bada boom, going to get clicks. It's just how it worked. And they do the same thing here. You bring up the Dark Knight in anything, people are either going to click on it and be like, oh my God, is it that good? Or people are going to be like, fuck that, nothing's better than the Dark Knight. Let me read this shit article. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how it works. And they get you every single time. I mean, we're talking about it right now, so it's what works. But let's talk about the main thing about keeping Ezra Miller around. We've talked about this a million times already, but in the James Gunn world, let's say this movie does between $800 million to $1 billion. What do you think happens? And he's clean until it comes out. He's been quiet for a long time.
It has been very quiet.
Yeah.
I don't think we've heard anything since
he said, like, I didn't know that my job was in jeopardy or some bullshit like that.
Which was back in, I think, September.
Yeah. There was a thing about him being charged, but it's for a thing that happened in like February.
Yeah.
There was something like that, but he hasn't been in trouble since then.
It's really hard to say, man. Because a part of me just wants to be like, Gunn, just full reboot, just go and no, because not only do you have the baggage of the Snyder stuff with Miller, but you have the extra baggage of all the shit that went down last year.
Yeah,
with Ezra. So I again, I understand people can change, people can have second chances, but I feel like the whole reason for Gunn's reboot or new DCU is to kind of get rid of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think that Miller is out.
Yeah, I think it's a safer bet. I mean, like I said, with the way Gunn has used or talked about like certain people of Ezra's character in the past, I'd be shocked if he keeps him around. But at the end of the day, the only person Gunn answers to is Zaslav. And like, I think Zaslav is more about money than, you know, plans, but he does say that he wants to be like the MCU. So maybe he'll follow Gunn's ideas and stuff like that and be like, we got to get rid of this guy. But if that movie pops off for a Billy, like, I think Zaslav's gonna be like, they like this guy, you know?
But that's the thing, right? Do they like that guy, or do they like Keaton?
Yeah.
Or do
Yeah.
they like Sasha Kaye, Supergirl? You know?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the very interesting thing come this summer.
Yeah. I'll be very, very curious to see what happens with it. But we saw some, but I know you were having this discussion with Young about, he was saying the promo stuff was fake for this random ass promo that came out. Wasn't paying attention to it. I was
so there's this photo of the other Flash. We all know this is not a spoiler. There is another Flash in here.
Yeah, it's in the trailers.
And these promos have shown a better look at that Batman suit made Flash suit. Like we saw the tease of it from when Muschietti posted it, you know, so many freaking years ago, or like I think sometime at the very beginning of last year, or even the year before that in 2021. Everybody's like, Red Death, oh my god. But we have seen now that literally he just takes a bat suit and makes it into a Flash suit.
Yeah.
The bat ears are still there. If you look closely, I have seen more concepts. Of course, these are fan made, but they're taking it from the leaked promotional art. And even the actual promotional art has the bat ears there, but they're restructured. This is a bat suit, and unfortunately, the only Batman that they have met face to face in this movie / promo / teaser that we've all seen is Keaton's Batman.
Yeah.
So you have the cowl that literally cannot make, like, you can't see anywhere behind you because of how thick the cowl is and rubbery it is.
Yeah.
It looks horrible.
He looks like a Doctor Who villain.
Yes.
With the way the neck happens.
He looks like the potato.
yeah. The fucking, I forget what they're called, but Santarans.
Yeah.
But well, you know what? He actually looks more like the suck facing ones. The one when during the 50th anniversary. He looks more like those, the aliens that transform. I forget their names. But yeah, like that's when I saw, and they're red too. So it looks exactly like that. But yeah, that I want to say it's a pretty awful photo quality wise.
Yes.
So I don't want to judge it off of that. We've judged plenty of things off of terrible photos before, and they don't look as bad when we actually see them on, you know, on TV or whatever. I think given the context of how it's made and stuff, I think we'll be like, all right, whatever. And I don't know how I feel about this idea of, I don't know if it was a tweet or somebody said it in Discord, but they were kind of passing this off as one Flash is basically going to be Barry, and the other one that's wearing the Batsuit is going to be like younger, but like Wally. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I like that.
Yeah. So, minor. I don't know if I can say this.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it like super spoilery?
No, it deals with the concept that you just said.
Okay.
I'll just say that because I even saw a tweet this morning that had do you know the artist, it's an online artist known as Dratini?
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen their stuff.
Yeah.
They did a concept of the leaked promo and drew the younger or the other Flash shorter.
Yes, I think I saw that.
And he looks a lot younger.
Yeah.
I will say this. Minor spoiler. Skip ahead 5 minutes. It is rumored, so I'll just go ahead and say that first. Rumored that this other Flash in the movie is a year one Barry.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's a possibility that we all assume that it's the main Barry that does all the time travel stuff.
Yeah.
It's also rumored that this year one Barry is the one that accidentally causes everything.
Which I could see that getting around a lot of things, and also this being kind of an origin story and Flashpoint at the same time. Which I could see them getting around that, because I know that was one of my biggest things. Is like, we don't know shit about the Flash, so if we're learning this through the first Flash and we're seeing everything else happen because of the other Flash, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've gotten a runtime on this yet, right? I would assume this is going to be like 2:30, maybe.
I think around that time, but I don't think we've gotten a solidified runtime.
Yeah. To go back to your question, I would be shocked if they keep Ezra, because no matter if this movie does gangbusters or not, you're always going to have that cloud over his head, right? But at the same time, we've had a lot of actors get out of that cloud. Look at Downey Jr. He's beloved now. But granted, I don't think Downey Jr. did anything as creepy as what Ezra Miller was reported to be doing. So
yeah, I just searched it. It does say that according to reports, the latest test screenings, that was back in May of 2022, by the way, the Flash runtime is around 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Yeah, spot on. We'll have to wait and see. Barring anything crazy happening, we should be getting that movie this year in 5 months or whatever. So we'll see where that goes. I think we get first movie's in March, right?
Yes. First movie would be Shazam, Fury of the Gods, in March.
Yeah, nice. Coolio. Well, let's go on to a movie that we're probably never going to get again. And that was one starring The Rock. Because you were telling me here, attempted to make his own Rock branded company and pitched to plan movies for DCU that eventually would lead to him fighting Superman.
Basically, he basically wanted WBD to be a Rock branded company. Like,
okay,
not necessarily make a Rock branded company within WBD. He wanted WBD to be all about The Rock.
Yeah.
According to reports, it kind of started trickling in with The Rock going to the creators of the League of Super Pets and really pressing them to put him on for, I think, creative credit of the movie. And I'm just like, bro, that's a little much. Like,
yeah.
Again, we don't know who pitched this movie or whatnot. But just because of your name, you think, oh, I think this will sell more if people know that I had a big hand in creating the movie.
Yeah.
Like, don't really think that's going to help you much. And then there was also reports of him pressing WB to allow a vodka bar, of course, his brand of vodka, at the New York premiere of Black Adam, even though the movie is rated PG-13.
Yeah. Well, he's got to always promote that no matter what. So,
and that's the thing, every video that he posts, whether it be on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, of course, he's always in his giant workout room inside of his house. But he's always sharing his a photo of his tequila or his Zoa energy drink. It's always about the brand with him. And I just think that's what's souring people's tastes of The Rock. Yeah.
He's just a promotional machine. I mean, it's everybody falls from the rafters at some point, right? Like, not everybody was going to be on top. I don't think his last few movies have done as particular well, although apparently Black Adam had his best opening ever, right? Or some shit like that.
I think so, but we don't know if that was part of the leaked false information.
I just don't see his best movie ever is Jumanji, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
didn't that get like 800 million or close to $1 billion? If I'm not mistaken?
I'm pretty sure Jumanji, the first one, might have hit $1 billion.
Yeah, crazy. But I mean, that cast. I mean, I would have I didn't go see it, but I would have saw it for Karen Gillan or Jack Black, not not The Rock or Kevin Hart.
Oh, I've seen the first one, and I saw it in theaters because of Jack Black and Karen.
Yeah.
But also, the big news to come out of this article was that he also went to Zaslav with what whoever was writing the article heard of anywhere from 8 to 10 film plan to lead up to a Superman and Black Adam fight.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I brought this up was, for one, I don't think that would have ever worked.
No.
But do you honestly think there would have been a highlight of any of the characters that we wanted in this 8 to 10 movie plan just to lead up to a Black Adam Superman fight?
I just don't know how you would do it. Like, especially the way Black Adam ended. Amanda Waller told him to stay in Kahndaq. Yeah. So what was he gonna do? Does every villain go to Kahndaq and be like, "Hey, we could take out these guys with your help"? But he ended the movie with him being kind of a good guy. So I don't understand like how they would build that. It just seems like The Rock was like, "This is what I want, make it happen." But I'm like, well, your movie kind of ruined that. So I don't know how you do it. But again, if you're trying to pit this against Superman, how are you going to involve everybody else? Like, I don't know. Black Adam has never been a character that I thought could take out everybody. You know what I mean? But and then why would I want to see that if you're not even going to ever fight the main guy I want to see you fight, which is Shazam?
And that's the thing that I was going to bring up. Like, this guy wants to make he wants to make a plan for 8 to 10 films, but like he only plays along with the big leagues. Like, what the fuck does that even mean as far as like does Black Adam literally not make a single appearance until the final movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
That would leave him even more unimportant to me, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what The Rock was doing there. He could have, had he taken the cameos that we heard about and just done those, I think people would have liked him more. They should have probably done 1 or 2 before Black Adam instead of giving him his own movie. But if you're not going to play ball, why should anybody else play ball with you? Like, it makes no sense. Any smart partnership is give and take. Like, you don't just take everything.
Which is why I think when Gunn and The Rock made those announcements of like, oh, we've talked, and although Black Adam is not going to be in the first few years of the DCU, we're definitely going to work together. I don't think it's happening.
No, I think he gets recast because there'll probably be something along the lines of, oh, The Rock's too busy or blah, blah, blah. So we had to recast and we want Black Adam to be a part of this. Who would you pick, though?
I don't know. I could not fan cast Black Adam.
Yeah.
Because honestly, when The Rock was announced for Black Adam back in freaking 2007, it was the perfect choice.
Yeah.
When production, and when I say production, I mean like people were starting to finally get involved with writing a script and whatnot. And of course, it's been through development hell. But when things started to really get solidified in 2014, I was like, hell yeah, let's get The Rock in here to be Black Adam. I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
Ever since then, it's just like nothing great happened with the production, and it led to this.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really care to see him in the DCU anymore. But I'm pretty sure we'll hear about The Rock forever, just like we'll hear about Snyder Cut forever. So it is what it is. But I think that's all the news we got to move over to viewer questions, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is y'all guys didn't leave a lot on the last episode. And we don't have anything in the Discord. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the questions from episode 171, which was right before our year end in review. And we're just going to take some questions from there. So y'all left a lot of stuff there, which is pretty cool. First being from Nathan. I have a teen nephew that has a birthday coming up in January who's a big fan of Batman but never reads any comics. What book/run would be the best gift for him to start off? My limit is 3 volumes / books. Now, you actually commented on this, but go ahead and say it on the podcast.
I did comment on this because I didn't know that we were going to eventually read these off. So I was like, we'll be 2 episodes down. So let me go ahead and just answer this question. I would say the beginning of Snyder's run, all 3 volumes of that, and depending on the age of the nephew, I also said all 3 volumes of the Batman TMNT run. I think all of those had a little bit of something special in them. It got a little wacky towards the end, of course, with the whole like mimicking of like Crisis and stuff, but it was still a really fun read. I said you get all of Batman and his awesomeness, but you get off the wall wackiness that comics can provide.
Yeah, I think if you're just like, if you want a good starting point for Batman, I do highly recommend Scott Snyder's run. I do think that is the best run to start off with. I think King's run, I would say people need be a little bit older to appreciate. You don't need to be, but I think older people will probably appreciate King's more. Just because it does deal with a little bit more of the romance stuff. You might not care about that depending on what age you are when you're younger. Although, I mean, I wasn't young, but like I've always liked the Batman Catwoman relationship. But yeah, I'd probably go, just if we're talking about pure Batman stuff, I would go with Snyder's run for sure. So that's what I would recommend. I've read some of the TMNT, but yeah, if you just want to get him into Batman, I'd go with that. Next up, we got Moncre. Who would win in a fight? Batman, 5 minutes of prep time versus King Kong. Deathstroke versus Taskmaster. The Signal versus Man-Bat.
I did answer this, but so I'll go ahead and say mine here on air. The first one I said Batman, and the reason why I said Batman is I can't remember his name, but there is I wouldn't necessarily call him a villain, but of course, if you fight a good guy, you're kind of like marked as a villain.
Yeah.
There is a giant chimp, not a gorilla, but a giant chimp in DC Comics. I can't remember his name, but with him being an actual entity within the DC universe, I feel like Batman has then created a contingency plan for him, and even Moncre says only 5 minutes of prep time. So because of this other character being in the history of the DC universe, Batman already knows, okay, this is a giant monkey that is the size of skyscrapers. This is how I'm going to fight him because of this other entity within the DC universe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I'd go Batman too. I think he'd call up Catwoman and be like, yo, I've seen this before in a movie. He likes girls. I need you for 5 minutes. Kong gets distracted with Catwoman. Batman goes in there with the Batwing, ropes him up and stuff like that. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hey, Selena, I need to use you as bait.
Like, yeah, basically. I mean, he's done it with the Robins his whole life. Why wouldn't he do it with his girlfriend?
I mean, if anything, what you should do is use Diana as bait, so that way he doesn't accidentally crush Catwoman.
See, here's the thing, though. I was thinking just Batman and the Bat Family area, because if you're saying we can call it the Justice League, then I'm just calling Superman. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm bringing in Diana and them, I'm just calling this is the Justice League moment. So I was trying to keep it a Batman-esque. So that's why I call Catwoman. She's part of the family.
Okay.
You know, because yeah, I'd call Justice League for everything. You know, Deathstroke versus Taskmaster. Now I don't know a lot about Taskmaster, so I have to default to Deathstroke.
So Taskmaster in the past has been a really big badass. His whole thing is that he can literally mimic anybody's fighting style. And it is amazing what creators have written with his character. Unfortunately, I think it was back in like either 2017 or 2018, maybe even possibly further than that. He's kind of become like the butt end of a joke, and he's been really silly and stuff. So like I can't take him seriously anymore. The most serious Taskmaster that I have seen within Marvel recently was like Taskmaster
and Peacemaker, like that silly.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say the Taskmaster that is portrayed in the Spider-Man PS4 game is quite possibly the most serious I've seen him in a while. So I would say Deathstroke purely because of his training, but also his healing factor. Like no matter what,
that owns
Deathstroke,
everything.
yeah, he has the healing factor in the end.
Yeah, I would go with knowing that information now. Even if you could mimic exactly the way Deathstroke fights, it comes down to, yes, he could just continually keep healing, and Taskmaster would eventually get tired, and Deathstroke just needs to outlast that. So, unless does he have like unlimited stamina or something, that's the only thing I can think of. As for the last one, which would be Man-Bat versus Signal, I'm going Man-Bat. I think Signal's still pretty fresh off the stuff, and Man-Bat's giving Batman a run for his money at times. So
I'm saying Signal because for one, I did say Signal is a powerhouse that has so much potential that has not really been used, unfortunately. But also, I think due to now reading issue number 12 of DC versus Vampires, I do think that his light power could very severely what's the word I'm looking for? Incapacitate Man-Bat.
Yeah, see, his powers are still but he's got like dark powers now. Yeah, remember how they kind of changed that?
But we haven't seen him in the actual like current DC like at all.
Well, see, here's the thing is if we're not including vampires, because that's Elseworld technically.
Yes.
The last thing he had was the darkness powers.
But we don't know how his body has changed since the first soft reboot at the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, I guess so. Because that happened in Outsiders. Yeah, his powers are so weird. Like they haven't been explained.
Yeah.
They really need to do that. Again, another reason why they should write more about that kid. He's a badass. But anyways, going on from there, we got Eduardo de la Cruz. If you had Bruce Wayne's manner and fortune, would you try to be Batman? Why or why not? No, I don't think I would. Here's the thing. I've said this a million times. I could never be a hero. I would be an anti-hero. I'd kill people. Like, it's just going to happen.
I wouldn't try to be Batman. Would I try to make Batman-esque gadgets? Fuck yeah.
Well, I mean, you're assuming that Batman kind of pays for all that stuff, though. But yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you go to R&D and do all that kind of shit. But yeah. No, I think I would I'd probably be playing more as Bruce Wayne than Batman. I think I'd do a lot more as Bruce Wayne, be more like a out there public figure and try to do some cool shit. You're still going to deal with bad people all the time because you're a billionaire. People are automatically going to hate you. So I'd probably play around with more of the Bruce Wayne aspect. But no, I don't think I could just do the amount of training and not getting sleep and doing all the kind of stuff Batman can do. And at the end of the day, I'd always be more of an anti-hero, man. I'd be like, oh, you did what? And you got off scot-free? Oh, look, here's a playful little toy that explodes in your face. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not going to play around. I said, if you ever gave me Superman powers, people were getting tossed into the sun. Like, it's just happening. Yeah. So, like, yeah, I could never be a hero. That's why I enjoy them so much, because I admire their willpower. So I'm just like, oh, man, you guys are awesome. Going on from there, we got Fede. Deathstroke gets regularly humiliated by a bunch of teenagers, and Black Manta is the king of a sea's main protagonist.
This is the comment. We were discussing who would win in a fight, Deathstroke or Black Manta.
Fair point about the Teen Titans. But at the same time, it's not 1v1 fights. They're usually all fighting. Like, you're talking about 5 really good Teen Titans, all proteges to huge villains, and Deathstroke takes them all on. You know, even Batman has struggles when he fights a bunch of people. Granted, Batman defeats everybody. It's just because he's OP. But
proteges to heroes. You said proteges to villains.
Oh, my bad. Hey, some of them might be over time. They've converted, haven't they?
That's true.
But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, though. That is a fair point. But I do think there's a numbers advantage there. But yeah, moving on to the next one. Vasan has a huge comment, but I want to take just this particular segment. Also, a lot of Batman haters in the internet keep calling Batman a Catwoman simp, and that really pisses me off. Any opinions?
Not really.
I think it's just a Batman thing.
I think it is a Batman thing, but I know that I forgot when you did this, but a couple years ago you made a hoodie. You made a simp hoodie. You were leaning hard into the simp verbiage back in the day. And I've just never been one to like really pick that up. I don't really like, I understand what it means, but I'm just like, it's whatever.
Yeah, I did it to kind of branch off on the, like, if you own that shit, it dies, you know? So I was like, oh, let me make it branded clothing. And I've gotten so many compliments on that fucking hoodie when I wear it and the shirt. Like, people love it. I went to the pizza place the other day, and the kid was all like, fucking love that hoodie. And I'm like, thanks. It's like, it's my own. And he's like, that's awesome. But yeah, no, like, first of all, I think this is another one of those people only apply this to Batman. Why is he a simp? Because he shows love and compassion towards Selina. Like, if anything, I would say Bruce has been more combatant towards Selina than any other couple in DC. Like, he's literally put her in jail before. Like, tell me other people that have done that, you know? You don't see Green Arrow putting Black Canary in jail. You don't see Superman doing that to Lois. You're not seeing Flash throw Iris in jail. You know what I mean? Like, you're not seeing any of that. Now, granted, you could make the argument, well, Batman's the only one dating a felon. So, you know, he's kind of got to do that. So that's a fair point. But I don't think he's a simp by any means. I mean, anybody that I think is in a loving relationship or has ever been infatuated with somebody, you've been a simp at some point. Because if you're not, you're usually an asshole. So, like, from what I've met, people that are like, yeah, I don't listen to my girl ever. I'm like, yeah, it's because you're an asshole. Like, you're not considerate or anything like that. But hey, some girls like that. But yeah, I don't know. That's just the internet. You're always going to get that. It's just going to be like people that think Batman's no kill rule is stupid and blah, 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 blah. And realistic Batman is the only Batman. You know, all of that boring bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on to the next one. We got Clay. Which Batman villain can you take on in a fist fight? Mine is the little actress girl that plays Dolly something.
God damn it! You
animated series.
You fucking took mine. Yeah. I was like, "What's the smallest thing that I could?"
Because I could punt that bitch. I could punt that bitch. About boop. Yeah, she's gone. Yeah, I would go with her because I would say like Condiment King's probably like 6'4", and I'm not trying to fuck with Condiment King. You know what I mean? Even though he's a goofball.
Like, just the idea of having hot sauce squirt into your eyes, like, yeah. I'm not down with that.
I hate mustard, one of his main things. I'm not fucking with that. Like, but that little baby doll, I think her name was Baby Doll. Yeah, like, fucking, I'm punching that bitch out a window. Like, yeah, easy. So that's who I would go with.
Oh shit! I would do the same. That's exactly who I was thinking of. So nice.
Yeah. Alexis Barrera. What would be the best Christmas gift to give Batman? Night free of crime?
See, I feel like they've done that before.
He was paranoid the whole day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've read I think it was an episode. I think it was a Christmas episode. Maybe. It was the animated series. There was an animated series that deals with it. It's in the Batman and Robin part, I think.
Okay. See, but I was going to say, I feel like it's something that definitely people have put into fruition.
Yeah.
So I think, and this may be cliche, I think, and it's happened before, so I don't know how much weight it would actually like hold as like a memory for Bruce, but a chance to talk to his parents again. Like, just talk, not necessarily bring them back to life or anything, but like literally have like, hey, on Christmas Day, you get to have a whole day of conversation with them or something like that or whatever.
Do you think it would be like, I guess if you're confirming spirits, I guess your spirits would constantly go on, or do you think he's talking to his parents as they were like when he died? when they
Ooh.
died. So they're in that mindset.
See, I believe it was and I own it actually, I'm pretty sure. There is a comic written by the Neil Gaiman, Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader.
Yeah.
And it is a story about Batman's funeral, quote unquote. And at the end of that, and I'm pretty sure, didn't Tom King have a moment where he talks to Martha?
It might have been in one of the Nightmare issues.
I can't remember. But
But I don't remember.
usually because again, I said this is not something that is an original idea. When they do have these moments where Bruce talks to either Thomas or Martha, he is talking to them as though they know his life since he's been Batman.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would assume.
Yeah. Makes sense. Next up, we got Jason Todd. Would you rather have laughing gas, venom, or fear toxin?
I don't know what kind of question this is, because this is scary as hell.
I guess if you had to if you had to use one of them, what are you picking?
If I had to use it on somebody else
or yourself, like let's just say you had to experience one. I think, let's say if you do the laughing gas, usually don't you die?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't do that.
Fear toxin, I feel like, would just set off way too many like fears in the future.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do fear gas. I think because, and I'm not condoning this whatsoever, just because venom is the closest thing to like a real thing in real life as far as like steroids.
Yeah.
Like I feel like venom is the only thing. Now again, we've seen that venom is addictive, but I think steroids are also in some instance.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, I don't know how addictive steroids is. I know a lot of people use them, but I don't know if it's technically an addictive thing. I would go with fear toxin because fear toxin they have shown that you can overcome it. And just,
I guess so. Yeah.
I would be interested to see what my biggest fear is. Like, would I just constantly be dying over and over again? Like, you know what I mean? Or what if it was something else? What if death wasn't my biggest fear? And just being like curious on how to overcome that. I think that would be more interesting than the other. Well, laughing gas is just, I'm going to laugh until I die. And then venom, it's just like, yeah, you get strong and stuff, but like, do I want to be as bulky as Bane? Like, I don't think I want to do that. So I'd go for your toxin. It would probably get me locked up in the loony bin, but it would be pretty interesting. So yeah, it's all the questions we got so far for that, ladies and gentlemen. But shout out to everybody that dropped us comments. We always appreciate it. Feel free to leave more in this comment section or on the Discord. But yeah, moving on to the comics of the week. And holy crap, this was a disappointing week to start off fucking 2023. And I swear this is just a bad week. I just hope, because if this is the rest of the year, like, it's funny. Is because I'm going to talk shit about one book today that was on my top 10 list last week. And I just cannot believe it happened. But first things we're going to talk about. And there's one from my top 10 list that just finished that I think is awesome. But I want to talk about first that we're dropping Jokers, right? Joker, whatever the hell this book is called.
Yeah, the Man Who Stopped Laughing. I had heard some things. Again, there's a lot of people who are blowing the backup story way out of proportion. There's a lot of people who aren't reading the book that are like making YouTube videos about it and whatnot.
Yeah.
The backup story, there is like a prank that Zatanna does on Joker and basically impregnates him with magic.
Yeah.
And people are making like some wild stories of like, oh, so Joker got impregnated with like a mud baby and like all sorts of stuff. Like, people are coming up with like wild things.
Yeah.
But we haven't been reading the backups, so I'm not worried about it.
Well, the femdom continues.
Yeah.
Like, it's always Joker getting dominated by a woman, which I think is very interesting. I don't know if that's something that Rosenberg is all into, which, hey, man, I get it. I mean, I've met some ladies that are dom that I'm totally like, yeah, you're hot. But yeah, I don't know. Every book has been like that. So very interesting artistic choices going on there. But for the most part, this story is just boring. And I don't care.
I was into it for the first 3. This one, I skimmed through it. I was just like, this is not going to be for me. It's just not.
Yeah. I just don't care. I don't care for this Joker, if it is the real Joker or the not Joker. Doesn't seem that way. I think they made him like try to be a little bit compassionate towards the end of this book with somebody that's dying.
Rosenberg, I'm just going to tell you now, if you listen to this, I'm not going to tell you to listen to this, but in case you find it, if that Joker is the boy, please don't. Just please don't.
That would be horrible. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to cover this book anymore. But Rosenberg, cool femdom stuff in the backgrounds. Keep it up.
But also, just to pimp out something that we did love from him, his House of Gotham is being collected, but not on its own. It is in the detective run of Gotham Tower or Arkham Tower. But I believe it is collected all at the end, so you can just read that all on its own.
That kind of sucks. I don't want to buy that just for that. Damn, that blows. I'm hoping that somebody will digitize it online to where I can just download it as one whole thing.
So did you know this was a thing? Because I did not know this was a thing. People out in the world make custom omnibuses.
Yeah. Like, why do you think I've said I want to do that to Batcat? If I can afford to get what's his name to make the other 3 issues. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah,
I didn't know that. So you could get somebody to make a custom trade. Of House of Gotham.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but yeah, you can get it done. Like they'll bind it hardcover and everything, which is awesome. But yeah, no, that's what I wanted to do with Batcat, because I'm like, I got to get enough money to pay him to redraw 3. Because I looked through it, man, and it looks gorgeous. And then there's those 3, and I'm just like, and I finish it. I'm just like, I would love for Clayman just to redraw it, or just somebody that didn't have Lee. I was gonna say Lee Weeks. What's his face is Sharp, Liam Sharp style. Like it's just so drastically different, and I just don't like it. But anyways. Moving on from Jokers, we're not going to be covering that book anymore because, it just hasn't been great. I just want to dive into Batman, because Batman 131, this was fucking boring, right? Like, I can't be wrong here. This book was fucking boring. And that's not even me just hating. It was just boring.
I'm not going to say, I am going to say it was boring, but there was nothing in this book that made me overly ecstatic to continue this story, to continue Batman. But here's the thing. It's the main Batman title. We're going to continue to read it. So it's not really questions, but I'm just like, what is the reason behind here's my biggest issue. I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. The problem, not with just Chip, the problem with every single person who has ever decided to write a multiversal story, they never want to play in the sandbox that's already created, that has been created for 80 years. They always want to make a new Earth. They always want to make a new something. It's like you hear all the demands from all these fans saying, oh, I wish we would get more of these characters on this Earth. And you just don't do it.
Yeah.
This wasn't concerned at all for Batman. It didn't make me believe, like, again, it did not make me say, I can't wait for the next issue.
Yeah, no, this was boring. Like, I didn't care. I was talking to Raphael, or I might have just been brain farting into Discord, and I know Raphael responded to this. But my problem with Zdarsky is his Batman has no balance. He is just too OP. and like there's no reason for me to care or think that like he's ever going to be in trouble. I mean, he can fall from the moon and survive and not be a thing. Like everybody's gonna be like, dude, he got his ass kicked by a robot, but he survived and he did fine and he got healed, and Gotham's still in shambles or whatever. Gotham's, we can assume right now, being destroyed because, well, there's no resolve to that. Even in the Tim Drake book, from my understanding, that hasn't been resolved. That's at the back of this. I don't like that every time Batman goes to a new world, he automatically finds a new Robin. Like there's automatic, we already see this. There's somebody that saves him, and that's probably going to be a Robin on this world. And there's already a Jim Gordon who's a skeleton that I'm assuming only Batman can see.
It's literally in his head. Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. Catwoman is I saw this in an article, the kingpin of this universe. And yeah, she's beating a bunch of people up. She's whatever. She sees Bruce's photo, and this red cap guy or whatever his name is,
Red Mask,
wants him, I guess. I'm assuming that's what the story was kind of saying. Like,
okay, so here is the convoluted thing about his story already.
Uh-huh.
So we see Batman wake up. He has some sort of multiversal migraine, I think is what he tries to say. And he's trying to, pick up the pieces of where he might be, whatever. The first villain, I guess, we see in this world is the Judge, which is a Venom Harvey Dent, basically. It is Bane and Harvey Dent put into one.
He looks like Nemesis from fucking Resident Evil.
Yes. And he is like, okay, Harvey Dent and Bruce Wayne are known to be great friends. Of course, Bruce Wayne is also known to be a big face in Gotham. Harvey Dent did not acknowledge Bruce Wayne whatsoever, for the fact that the only way he acknowledged him was, oh, you are keeping me from distributing justice, you must die.
Yeah.
And that's it. But then Catwoman sees Bruce Wayne's photo and is like, oh, that's Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know, dude. I didn't like the art of this book. I didn't like the story of this book. I would drop this book if I was a consumer. I would have dropped this book during the first arc, but that first arc had a lot of action and it was pretty, so I can understand why people were buying it. I said that I thought that first arc was to get people to buy the book. So I'm curious now when Zdarsky's like, oh yeah, we're going to slow it down. You could have done a lot with this book.
This issue already has a second printing coming out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's lame.
And this actually is the cover of it. I'm sharing it with you now.
Ew. That looks gross. Yeah, is it because of that new character or what? Is that why people lame.
People are picking it up because this issue is the first appearance of Red Mask, and this is the first cover appearance of Red Mask.
Lame. I thought this book sucked. If I could drop this book from never reading it again, I would. But we're the Batman podcast, so we're gonna read this book. But yeah, I'm just not a fan. There is a backup of. Did you read the backup? I don't know what you thought of the backup.
I didn't, but I want to go back and read it because it made a lot of noise on Twitter.
Yeah, so I think Zdarsky used this again to introduce more characters because, if you're the writer of the Batman, you just got to introduce characters, and that's all you got to do. The story doesn't matter. But so Tim is going through and replaying the whole, like, what happened, right? And he's all like, Batman's not dead. Batman's not dead. John is there, but he's like in an older Superman suit. It looks like he looks like he's in like an old school Superboy suit. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but that's what it reminds me of, like an old Superman. But yeah, he's there talking to Tim Drake. But again, has there been a lot of interactions between John and Tim Drake before? I thought it's more Damian and.
Yeah, and that was the really big thing was like people were worried that like, oh, as soon as John gets older, or like now that he is older, he's gonna try to date Tim.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only thing that kind of popped up when you asked me that question. But
Yeah, no, I didn't even put two and two together. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I don't read either of these characters, so like I often forget that they're both bisexual because I'm not reading their stories. So
yeah,
like that didn't even cross my mind. But yeah, it's this whole like he's not dead. I'm trying to figure out where he's going, blah blah blah. Then he goes off to go fight some people, and there's a new guy that is trying to take over in place of Joker, and his name is Cut Up because he cuts people up. So,
oh man, that's
yeah.
giving me big. What was his name? Smiley vibes.
Oh, yeah. Well, this guy's big, though, Clay. He's muscular, and he's got two knives. So, and he wears clown paint. But yeah, Dick Grayson kicks all their asses. Tim Drake shows up to help out Dick Grayson. And then they kind of have a talk, and they're just like, you've always been this and that. And he's like, he's not dead, Dick. I know he's not. And he's like, you're right. He's not dead. He's Batman. And he was like, but you know what Batman would want is Batman would find his way back, and he would want us to take care of Gotham. So everybody's trying to take care of Gotham. And Clay, last time we saw all these characters, they were taken over by Failsafe, and Gotham looks fine. It was in a total fucking fear state.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, Failsafe killed Batman, so everything's back to normal.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess Barbara's not cerebral anymore. Nobody else is on the run, and everything, we just forget about it. Like,
yeah,
at fucking shit writing. Like, I don't understand it. Also, he's trying to do something with Toyman. That's part of this too. Don't care. I will say the best thing about this book, though, was the final page and the tribute to Kevin Conroy. That was the best thing about this whole book. A lot of the comics this week have Kevin Conroy tributes. It's a great, and it has a quote from Paul Dini and Alan Burnett, which I think is really awesome. They use the Batman animated series font to spell out Kevin Conroy. Looks amazing. If you were going to pick up this book, don't, and just rip this page out of the book because it's the only thing worth it.
Well, I mean, they're going to be, it's in every DC book.
So
I think
pick up Azrael. It's at the back of Azrael. Pick up Azrael. Because that is a nice little tribute. But yeah, dude, I don't know, man. We've had an arc, and going into the next one, can you make a judgment off of Zdarsky at this point, or do you still got to give him a couple more arcs? As a consumer, I would have dropped this book.
As a consumer, I would have dropped this book as well. I think that, I mean, hell, unfortunately, just again, because I was a part of a podcast, I feel like Zdarsky's run might remind me a lot of Bendis's run, where like in 10 issues, something's going to happen and we're all going to have deja vu. It's like, oh, this is because story hasn't actually progressed since issue 4,
Yeah.
So I feel like that is going to happen a lot in this story. I hope I'm proven wrong, but I don't have high hopes.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking, I made this comment before because Raphael was talking about maybe Zdarsky needs to find his balance, and I'm totally fine with him finding it, because I even bring this up. Tom King himself said when he jumped on Batman, he didn't know his Batman that he wanted to write until after like arc 1, because that first one was like he was trying to like mesh it with Snyder's Batman, and that's why, and he was also working with David Finch, who's like really action heavy, so he needed to like really kind of like put those two things together. But then after that first thing, and I think kind of that stupid arc that he didn't write, which had all the monsters in it or whatever, then he finally found his footing, and we got what his run was going to be, right? And I kind of think that is what maybe could be happening with Zdarsky, but I don't know, man. I just don't like, if this is how you're starting off your second run, your second arc, by doing something that has been done already by Grant Morrison, which we constantly see from Zdarsky. He's like, oh, did Grant Morrison do it? I'll just redo it again. Like, where is the original Zdarsky stories happening here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. You mentioned you can play in a whole bunch of other sandboxes, but like, yeah, play in the sandbox. Don't fucking take the whole sandbox and claim it as your own. Like, you know what I mean? He's just regurgitating stories that we've done before. And I don't know. Somebody, you know, I think a lot of people weren't happy about this in the Discord. And some people were like, people are still going to talk about it. Like, it's great. It's funny. I read a CBR article. The CBR article, 3/4 of it was just talking about the art and the colors. Like they didn't want to badmouth the issue, so they're like, the art actually really makes it feel like we're in this weird type of Gotham and blah 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 blah. And also the big takeaway from the book too was that I think they kind of like say it at the end of the book, but like the best mercy that Failsafe could have gave Batman was a Gotham that needs to be saved. And I'm like, his Gotham needs to be saved still. Like, it's so fucking dumb. Like, you took him away from his home. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like Zdarsky is trying to be deep, but he's like missing the whole thing. He's had flashes, like he's had good moments with Tim Drake and Batman, but like those are just like a page or two out of fucking 100+ pages already. And I'm like, dude, like you just don't get it, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a lot of people that barely know how to write Batman. That's the one thing we've seen. A lot of people think they can write Batman because they've been successful in other places. I don't think Zdarsky's that right person. And I think we've had an ample amount of showing. That book that was before Batman or whatever the fuck that was called, terrible, in my opinion. We had the urban legend stuff where he made Batman's ultimate dream to kill Joker. Like, terrible. Like, he doesn't know Batman. And I think he just likes to play in the campy goofiness that Batman has had before. And I think it just doesn't work. Mark Waid knows how to do it. Fine. But not Zdarsky. So either way, let's move on to an actual good book from this week, and that is Azrael. So final issue of this series, unfortunately. But what were your thoughts?
I really dug this book. We've dug this book ever since issue 1. I feel like it was over too quickly. It was a quick read.
Yeah.
Not to say that it was rushed, but it was just a quick read, and I think more so because there was just a lot of action. There was no need for any exposition or anything else. I think that Dan Waters knew the story, and he was just like, hey, we're just going to write this ending. Boom, we're done. If this moves on to anything else, then that's what happens. And I hope it does. I hope we get another miniseries. I hope that they don't want to like push Dan to do like a ongoing series, because I think it'll wear him out.
Yeah. 6 issues every time, which is exactly what I would want. I think is the perfect thing to do. Yeah, like you said, this book was, I mean, we found out, we got the big reveal of Azrael finally realizing, you know what, I'm Azrael. I got to accept this. I got to accept being the guy I am. Him and John Paul are going to go fight together, and they go and they kick some ass. Like, John Paul takes care of Bane's daughter, right? Is that what her name's Vengeance? But like, I think that's the whole thing. She's there. Azrael goes to fight the main chick, Sariel. I don't know how to say her name. Sariel. And they're fighting or whatever. We see that Jean Paul or Valley has a new weapons that Azrael gave him, which I think is pretty cool. And essentially, yeah, it's just like a big fight between these different pairs, and it's like the Azrael Angel versus the Templar Angel, which I think is really cool. And they're like, it's drawn. Each panel is different. It's like the two angels fighting, and then Azrael and the other like actual like the people on Earth fighting, which I think is really cool. I thought that was some nice imagery. And then it all ends with obviously Azrael destroying the mother box, which was supposed to unleash a whole bunch of other, I guess, people similar to Azrael, like sleeping soldiers on Earth. And he destroys that. He also destroys the, his enemy. And I actually really love the ending of Vengeance being like, no, I was promised a miracle. Like, you destroyed that. And then Valley's like, or you can think of it like this, like an angel who was programmed to be a certain way, fought against his programming to do what he thought was right. Like, that in itself is a miracle. And Vengeance falls to her knees, and she's all like, tell me what I need to do, Azrael. Like, I have killed 23 people, and I need to repent, or essentially something along those lines. And we get a final page of Valley and Vengeance carrying Azrael out of the battlefield, which this could be a new type of team, which I would love to see them going around the world fucking fighting religious fights.
I think in the future, if we get this team up, I think it would be a really great way to explore a little bit of Vengeance's origin. I
Yeah.
doubt they did it in that Joker book where she was introduced.
Yeah.
So I would really enjoy that. Playing off of the relationship between Azrael and Father Valley, I think would be very interesting,
Yeah.
considering their backgrounds. So I totally dig this.
Yeah. This is what I kind of wished Red Hood and the Outlaws would have been, like short badass stories of the three characters instead of this long-winded craziness that book went through.
Yeah.
Because I think some of these, I mean, they're known as the Dark Trinity, right? Like that's pretty awesome. But you're never gonna really see them work together. I don't know. There isn't like fucking Bizarro in the Shadow Realm right now. So like,
I think he actually got out.
oh, did he?
I think so because I know that Bizarro is going to be featured in uh in the new Superman title.
Okay. Nice. Well, I don't know. I definitely want to pick this up in hardcover. This book was phenomenal. Anybody that hasn't been reading Azrael, I highly suggest you go read it. This is kind of what me and Clay were talking about like mixing American comics with manga, and we would like to see more of this kind of stuff. Like I think it's a good way to bring readers in. And I mean, Dan Waters killed it with a character that is not really used a lot. Well, is what I should say. I think we've seen a lot of people try to make Azrael cool, but they haven't been able to do it. But I think this was like the sweet spot, and it looked phenomenal. And I would say I would read anything Dan Water writes. I will give it a try. But if he's writing Azrael again, I'm jumping on that shit because he did a phenomenal job here. And I'm excited to see what they'll do because they'll probably include the one shot if they do a hardcover, right? So, and then just kind of tell the whole story. But yeah, I would love to have this in my collection. Something that I'm questioning about not having in my collection anymore is Dark Knights of Steel #9. Because I don't know about you, Clay, but this book pissed me off after I was done reading it. I want to know your thoughts on this book, though. So,
this again, I feel like this was a quick read also. I can understand the reasoning of why this pissed you off, but the big reveal at the end of this book, there's two reveals. And one was very obvious, while the other, because the first one was obvious, the second doesn't hit as hard.
yeah.
And I think that is the worst part about this issue is that because I think the weight of this individual issue relies too much on the reveal, nothing else really happened in this story. For 20 something pages, there's a fight, but it doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah.
Does that mean that I hate this book? No. I think that the reveal probably should have waited.
Yeah, so the reveal was that that Alfred is a Martian. And
well, the one before that was
yes.
the white Martians were actually well, a white Martian, because of course they can shapeshift. It could be multiple people. Was the one that ended up killing Hippolyta trying to be Laura.
Yeah. Well, so where the fuck was Laura this whole time? Like, that's what kind of confused me because when I saw it, I was like, wait, okay, she's burning people in the thing. But let's see. Because like I was super confused because there was a Martha or like a Martha destroying a bunch of people in the dungeons. And we see Black Canary and Green Arrow get out and they make it onto the battlefield where the battle's already started. So I mean, there's already a Martha out there because that's how the battle started. They
Laura, not Martha.
Laura, whatever. She's already killing somebody. And then she's like, you have too much power. She's like fighting a bunch of people. And then there's a Martha standing, a Laura standing over another Laura. And I'm just like, Okay, whatever. And then that's when we see fucking Green Arrow kill one, which is the Martian, which was the one that was on the ground. If you're paying attention, because like the one that was burning everybody has a red cape, and the one that's on the ground doesn't. And the one that dies is the one that doesn't have the red cape, which is a Martian. I'd have to go back and look at issue 8, but was she wearing the red cape? No, the one that's burning the ones in the dungeon is wearing a red cape too. So like, I'm so confused with this imagery here. But the thing is it doesn't matter to me. It's just that they introduced two characters into this story that didn't need to fucking be a part of the story at all. You did not need to have the white Martians and the Martians in this book. It is complete and utter useless bullshit because you just didn't need it. Like, there was so much drama already.
Yes, but the white Martian is the White Walker. That's the thing.
That's dumb. Like, you could have introduced that like in the next series. Like, you didn't need that right now.
Well, and that's what I mean. I feel like the reveal could have waited, because the thing, if you read, or when you read this book, Bruce confronts Cal and was like, "You tried to kill me, brother." And even Cal is confused because that wasn't really him.
Mm-hmm.
It was one Martian who was probably here on Earth to scout and manipulate things to, have a hostile takeover eventually. Yeah. And I think we will see more white Martians enter Earth, possibly in the season 2.
Yeah, I just think it's
or the
dumb
finale of this,
because it was one of those twists that you're supposed to be like, oh, now that means all the like. I think you're supposed to be awed by it, but now you're telling me that like Kal-El's good still and all this kind of shit, and I'm like, I don't care about that story. I don't care about Kal-El possibly being good. Also, the Batman showed up on a fucking dragon was cringy as fuck. Like, I hated that dialogue. The moment I saw that, I was like, this book's not going to end well.
I will say it is Constantine, though.
Still, I don't care. Like, Constantine, whoever it is, I think it was just dumb. Like, you don't need to say it. Like, I think the fucking was the part you didn't need. You know what I mean? I just thought it was dumb. Like, I thought it was just kind of cringe. It doesn't matter who was saying it. I just thought it was cringe. But I don't like this idea that Kal-El is possibly good now. I don't like it. Because I wanted to see Batman versus the Elves. I'm like, all right, that's cool. The Waynes versus the Elves, that's fine. Now we have Wonder Woman now like fighting against the Elves because her mom just died. But now what are they all going to do? Is it going to be all kumbaya now? Because like, oh, there was a misunderstanding. The fucking Martians are here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Martians did not need to be in this book. And I think this was one of those things, and I really, really hate it. And this might be an editor choice. Maybe this wasn't Tom Taylor's thing, but I feel like Tom Taylor, at the end of the day, always wants the good guys to be good guys. And I think this was his out to make us be like shock and awed with some of the bad things that the Elves might have done. But in reality, it was the White Martians, so it's okay. Like, that's not what I want from this book. You know what I mean? I think it's just a cop-out, and I fucking hated it. So,
see, I have talked to several people about this book, and we all assumed that the White Martians were involved.
Never thought about that once.
I thought I mentioned it here on the cast before.
Never mentioned that before.
Yeah, I've had several conversations about it.
It was off the cuff and like not even something you talked about a lot. I doubt you ever mentioned that, because I don't think we even talked about Green Martians.
I think we talked about like the possibility of like space and everything else due to the Green Man, Joker, like Luthor,
yeah, maybe.
And we talked about more of the spatial cosmic characters like Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter. Excuse me. But yeah, like I said, I think that the reveal was obvious. And only because like it's one thing if like I keep forgetting her name, the sister of Cal, Zara, right?
Oh, Zara, yeah.
It would be one thing if only Zara was evil.
Yeah.
But then you made Cal also evil. And I was like, okay, the two like heirs, they're trying to, overthrow and possibly run the kingdom. I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you make Lara also evil. It's just like that's too much for me.
I had no problem with it because it's just an evil family. Power corrupts. They are powerful beings overtaking a world. It's what a lot of people assume Superman would do on Earth, right? Like it's Bruce Wayne from BVS, right? Like these people, they have power, they can destroy us in any minute, and they've just been playing a part this whole time. And now that they know that their lives are being threatened, they're finally going to reveal their true colors. I have no problem with that story, and like I don't mind a family, being evil. Like it's just what happens, especially since this book is part of Game of Thrones. Like it's a very Game of Thrones ripoff. And a lot of those families in that book stick together and they're evil as fuck. So, like, it was all working. But when you're going to have shape shifting bitches come in here and start the whole war, I think that's kind of lame. It just makes it really weak. And I would have liked to see, like, these people actually at odds with each other. But now Superman's going to be good and him and Bruce are going to be bros and they're going to fight this war together. And I just don't like it. I think it's just it's Bruce having kryptonite powers for me again. And you ain't got 7 issues to try to win me over now. You got 3.
Yeah.
So unless these next 3 are bangers, which I'm back at the bottom now. I don't care. I don't know. Tom Taylor's bad at endings. He's bad at endings.
But that's the thing. This isn't an ending. And I don't know. I think you may have had a little too high of expectations for this small reveal to like kind of completely ruin it for you.
It was completely unnecessary. That's the thing. Like, dude, we were at awe at the end of 8. Like, it's funny that you're saying that you think Laura was too much, but you were like, oh my God. Like, we were freaking out about the end of that issue.
Well, I was like, oh my God, because Hippolyta fucking died.
Like, yeah, but look at what happened, though. Like, that was still an epic moment. Like, we were at an all-time high when that happened.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm at an all-time low again. Because it was unnecessary. Like the war was going to happen no matter what. And now it's going to be like, oh, now we got to stop, guys. Like shit's going on. We better be diplomatic about this. Like, what are they going to do? Fight the Martians now? Like,
I don't think it's as easy. I honestly don't think Diana's going to be like, okay, let's work together. You killed my mother, but it's okay. Like, no, I think that there is still going to be a lot of turmoil.
Yeah. And it would have been cool without the Martians. The Martians do nothing for the story. Like you could have told the same story.
They caused the chaos though.
But you could have told that same thing with just the mom, whatever the fuck her name is, Lana, whatever. Like Lara. You could have told the same story without the Martians. The Martians is just another thing to be like, oh, look at this other characters we fit into the story. Like you could have had them, like you said, come way later being the looming threat. Like there's this threat coming from another world and it could have been the white Martians. They didn't need to start this war. Like it made no sense. Like you could have had this turmoil and then you know what? All of these people fight together and they're like, just like Game of Thrones, they all have to come together to try to fight this bigger threat in the end that's been looming over all of them for many, many seasons. Like you could have done the same shit and it would have been, all right, that's cool. They got to band together through all of their turmoil to try to make this happen. But now you just did this gimmicky shit. And now Alfred's a green Martian. Like, okay. Like, it's just fucking dumb. Like, I
think it'll be revealed just like in the Martian Manhunter like origin. I think Alfred was possibly the one to find Martian Manhunter. It scared him. He had a heart attack. And then Martian Manhunter just assumed his identity.
Yeah, I don't care. I think that's dumb. So, like...
That's Martian Manhunter's origin, though. Like,
yeah, I know, but, like, you're talking about, like, Bruce would just think Alfred's totally cool. Like, oh, you're being weird, Alfred. Like, Martian Manhunter, but
that's what I mean. It could have happened a long time ago. And Bruce has always known this Alfred as the Martian Manhunter, but he didn't know he was a Martian Manhunter. Or he didn't know he was a green Martian.
It'll depend on if Bruce is alive. I call bullshit. at the time, unless he's a child. That's the only way. But like, I don't know. I just think it's dumb. I think it was an unnecessary reveal for Taylor to do it. Like, you had all the drama, you had everything there, and then it was like, oh, let's put in the Martians. Like, I think it was fucking dumb. I hated it. So, my thoughts on the book. He soured on me, man. He won me over. I've talked about this. I hated that first issue, and he won me over. And then he just had to put in more characters that were unnecessary. I was like, and then it's just this. And then he's got 3 issues to make this a banger, because we know that he's not going to follow up season 2 with being epic. Like, his follow-ups have never been better than the first season. So,
yeah, that's what I'm more worried about.
Yeah. And now they're probably going to build to a Martian war. So it's just like, don't care. Also, I like the idea of Kal-El actually being evil. Like, that's what I liked. And now he's
But we've already seen that from Taylor, though.
Not in Game of Thrones speak. Like, the Game of Thrones thing, which was the cool element. Also, he brought in a dragon way too early. Where did he get the fucking dragon from, Clay?
That's Beast Boy.
What? I thought they gave up the Teen Titans.
I am pretty sure that is Beast Boy. I'm pretty sure, like,
They
we're gonna
traded
learn
the
that
Teen Titans, though. Remember?
They fought They fought Roz.
And how did they bring back? The trade was for Constantine to give up the Teen Titans.
Yeah, but that's the whole. If you go back, it was not like a trade, as in like, hey, Bruce, we need to trade your new friends. Like, that's not how it went. Constantine made the trade without like them knowing, and that's why they fought to begin with.
I'd have to go back and look, but that's the way it came off to me. So they traded. Yeah, I still think the dragon thing is too early, though. You gotta save the dragons. That's the cool shit.
Save it for when the book is over?
They have 3 issues. You don't bring in the dragon now. Game of Thrones didn't give us dragons until season like 2 or 3. Like, you don't bring it in season 1, Taylor, and especially with this shitty reveal that happened, you don't bring in all 3. Like, come on. What did he even do? He just flew in. Like, he didn't even do, like, have you seen that epic way the dragon destroys a whole battle in Game of Thrones? Like,
yes.
They fuck shit up. This was boring as hell. Like, fucking Taylor, always ruining the endings of his books. Let's go on to Game of Thrones. This is how my year started, okay? I was sick, Taylor, and then I had to read your bullshit while I was sick. Like, come on. Let's move on to Gotham City, Year 1, Issue 4, which, before we start this, I want to say there was something I really liked about this book, and there's something that's really worrying me about this book. I just want to put that out there. So there's one thing that King's doing that I'm not liking in this book. But anyways, what did you think of issue 4 of Gotham Year 1? This is post Helena's death. So,
yes,
Princess Helena murdered is the headline.
I dug this for what it was doing. I enjoyed it. We're still getting the same like badass Slam Bradley.
Yeah.
Which I do not have a problem with. The one thing that worries you, I can assume that was the big headline of today, with Crime Alley.
Oh, you talking about the origin?
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Really?
I hate the tying of the bat to the Wayne, like to maybe his great-great-grandfather. I don't like Batman being before Bruce Wayne. I don't ever want that.
True. That is it kind of muddles the whole.
I can see why you think I hate Crime Alley, because King gave it an origin. Is that why you're saying it? Because I made a big bitchy stink about the necklace?
Yeah.
That's what okay. I felt like I was gonna have to explain myself on that. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the difference between this. The pearls have always just been pearls. So McFarlane tried to make them this fucking like, oh, there was a beacon in the pearls and they do this and that, and it's a beacon to other universes. I thought that's fucking dumb. They're just a necklace. That's a memento that Bruce grew up with. That anybody has that. Like, my grandfather loved pocket knives. So like, I have pocket knives of his, when he passed. Like, yeah. I think everybody has those in their families. You don't need to have this crazy origin with it. Crime Alley existed before the Wayne's death. There was a reason why it was called Crime Alley. So I don't mind them giving it the origin of why it became Crime Alley. I have no problem with that. I think that makes sense. So just to explain it, the way McFarlane tried to give an origin to the Pearls, thought was fucking stupid. Crime Alley existed before the Wayne's death. Now, if we go back and it's like, no, it started getting called Crime Alley the day they died, then I'm like, okay. But that's never been, I've never read it that way. It's always been called Crime Alley before their death. So giving it an origin, I think in a really cool way from a commissioner getting his ass beat and like super bad. And then they started calling it Crime Alley because crime like super went up after his like beating. I thought that was kind of cool. So, but people are starting to hate that is what you're saying? Is that the headline?
Well, the big headline today is Crime Alley has a new origin, or like the real reason why Crime Alley exists, and like just like random things like that.
Yeah, I saw that headline. I didn't click on it because I thought it was going to be something different. I didn't think it was going to be Crime Alley, but I saw a headline along the lines of like Gotham City gives a new or gives an origin to an old time blah blah blah. And I was like, let me see what that's going to be. But no, I had no problem with the Crime Alley thing. I am not liking this hinting at like what is the exact words at the very end of the book? It's like the big reveal, I guess, is kind of like, I mean, I guess maybe that's where King is what making you want to think is that what is his name? It's not Thomas. I want to say Thomas.
Richard. So
Richard.
Here's the actual thing. Slam is talking to
that woman. We don't know her
Candy.
name yet.
Candy. So she he finally finds her.
Yeah.
And
well, she's just chilling in his office, right?
In his apartment, yeah. And she has a gun. He basically just walks up to her and takes the gun. Doesn't forcefully do it, just grabs it. She's like, stop, like chill. And she says, I didn't kill that baby, blah blah. And she says, I got nothing to do with any of that. If I did, would I still be here anywhere near this damn city? He's like, okay, then who? And she says, who do you think? I mean, come on. You think I got any interest in any of this? I like the shiny things. Death is not my bag. This is all him. He's crazy, like a bat.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, I don't like hinting that maybe Batman's a part of like the Wayne's history. I'm not a fan of that. Like, I like that. I understand that. I love the origin of Batman falling down a cave near the Wayne Manor and all these bats coming out and scaring him. That's kind of his fear that he breaks into becoming the Bat. Like, I've always loved that origin, but I don't want there to be like this origin of like bats have always been surrounded by the Waynes and kind of stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think it's a little far-fetched, and I want Batman to be created on like the way he was created, right? Because I feel like that separates him from every other Wayne before him. You know, I think his parents were the start of the Waynes being good. And I think the Waynes have been shitty prior to that. And like Batman is going to be the Wayne that changes things in a different way. You know what I mean? And that's what I like. So I don't like where King's going with this when it comes to maybe tying the bat symbol. Because remember, like he was saying that the Bat, right? Or the Batman was the guy delivering these messages or whatever. Only thing I'm really not liking about this book is whatever that is. Because remember, Slam is talking to Batman. So is the reveal going to be like, oh yeah, you know, you got your name from, you know, your old crazy grandfather or whatever? Like, I would hate that. King, as much as some people would like to say that I don't hate some things King does, I didn't like what King did with Catwoman's origin. Like the way he made her just like an orphan baby from on the streets. I wasn't a fan of that. Like, I like the idea that she came from a broken home and like she has a sister, because that's the one thing King totally like negated in his Catwoman origin. He never talked about her sister, who's like a huge part of her origin, like huge. And so I didn't like that. If I was going to retcon anything from King's like Catwoman stuff, I would retcon that shit because I don't like it. But so I'm hoping he's got something planned. If he's going to make it to be where like the Batman's a part of the Waynes, I'm going to hate that. But overall, what did you think of? So did you not like the Crime Alley thing?
No, I was a little like hesitant on it at first, but I did come to the conclusion, because that was going to be my rebuttal to you if you did not like it, of
Gotcha.
like, hey, Crime Alley like is an alley, like it was there before the Wayne's death and whatnot. So I think it would easily be something that that you can kind of create like King did. But overall, I will be honest, I read this super late at night and then finished it in the morning. It didn't hit as hard as the other issues did. The reveal is not crazy to me. Like, it's not like, oh my god. We've kind of seen hints of the, like, I guess craziness, but more so just like
abusive, power
attitude and
hungry.
abuse. Yeah, exactly. Of what Richard Wayne was in the first 3 issues. So to see how this will play out, it will be interesting. I do agree 100%. I think it will be dumb if somehow King is like, oh, well, the real origin of the Batman was really because Bruce saw a bat and then reminded himself of all the stories he heard as a kid about their families being tied to this Batman.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that either. What did you think about Slam hooking up with the wife, though?
That's gonna be interesting. Slam Slam at the very end. Here's the real kicker, but I'm actually your great grandfather.
That would be some shit. You know, though, that would be fucking weird because remember, we're like, how do they keep the Wayne name going after this? You know what I mean? What if they were related somehow? Like, what if she gets pregnant?
I think I would hate that even more.
I probably hate it too. But
mainly because like Bruce has had nobody, and then like he had a grandfather or a great grandfather just there, and he never had the chance to live a proper life with family. I would actually hate that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a fair point. But I am curious because now that the baby is dead, they have to have another kid after this. So even if Richard is bad, she's still got to get pregnant or something to keep the Wayne name going. Because there's nothing else they can do here. Like Helena's dead. Helena probably, if we're going off old timey standards, she was going to take her husband's name, unless she just so happens to date another Wayne. And then now we're getting into Game of Thrones territory there. But like, I just don't. I don't know. I'm curious where the story is going to go now that the baby is dead. But very film noir. I like where we're going with it. I don't like that Candy is the I don't know if the pseudo is the right word, Catwoman in this. She's jumping on rooftops, says she likes shiny things. But for the most part, I like the book. I just
how would you like if Candy was Selina's great grandmother? Great grandmother.
I don't want that either. It's the same thing. I want Catwoman to be born as Catwoman, not like, oh, I had family. It's the same reason why I fucking hated Zdarsky making that other cat burglar learn from Bruce Wayne, and he just so happens to like women that do that. You know what I mean? Like giving him a type. So like, I'm not a big fan of that. So it is what it is. But overall, I really enjoyed the book. What did you think about? Obviously, they're showing off a lot of the Lazarus Pit stuff that we're going to be getting here pretty soon.
Dude, I saw that checklist at the end of this issue.
Yeah, it goes all the way to April.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's all number ones, a majority of it. I'm just
I'm not super thrilled about. Of course, you get all these number ones until April. Now, what I feel like that means is, of course, this could just mean that these are all just one shots, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that they are other miniseries.
Yeah.
But I think Lazarus Planet is the main series that we're looking at, and it might just be 4 issues.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll look at which ones have Batman. A lot of these seems like they're going to be spin-offs of other characters. But if anything concrete is happening with Batman, we'll cover it. But for the most part, I feel like this series might just be using Batman to sell.
100%.
You know, so I don't expect us to, you know, get whatever. We're like I said, we're in review with DC right now, so we don't know if we'll be having the books in advance to see if they're good or whatever. I do want to point this out because somebody asked me, they're like, have you read Catwoman 51 yet? And I'm like, no, and I'm not going to. Like, I don't care about that book anymore. There's no point. Like, what's the point of reading Catwoman going forward? I would stop reading Batman if it was possible. But, you know, we kind of got to cover that book. But for the most part, that is it for the first episode of 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know what you thought about it in the comment section down below if you're on YouTube, or shoot us a tweet or something. But Clay, what do you got going on this week, man?
So this week over at Star Wars Alliance, myself and Katie reviewed the first 2 episodes of The Bad Batch Season 2 premiere. So go check out that review. And on our Ranger Alliance episode over at the same network, me and Joe did a retro review of the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Nice.
So go check that out as well. And as far as what's coming up, really nothing right now.
Nice. Yeah, I finished my year-long challenge on my Shorts channel, so I don't even have that going on anymore. That is going to be turned into a full-blown video on my new channel, which I am extremely far behind on. I said this on stream because I did have a stream in the last 2 weeks or so, but I had this imaginary date in my mind, which was my birthday, to launch the new channel on, but I got anxiety attacks, Christmas, and then fucking sick. So I'm super far behind. So that's not going to happen.
You got less than 2 weeks, bud.
Yeah, it ain't fucking happening. Like, not talking about the amount of editing I would have to do, and I'm still like writing like the 4th video, because the original game plan was to drop 5 videos day 1. So there's a lot of content for people to watch. It helps in the YouTube algorithm and all this stuff, and then hopefully release a video a week after that. So I still need to drop 5 day 1 and then have the next video ready at least. So smart thing would be to have multiple videos ready so I can work on more videos in between. So I'm so behind because of this fucking sickness. Like, I got KO'd because of this shit. And then my job is like, hey, we started a new channel. I need you on the new channel. So now I'm working on a new channel that I have to learn all the ins and outs on. And I'm just like, oh shit. So timing has been really bad. I will probably stream at some point on I am doing multi-streaming, which is on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So there'll probably be a stream at some point. So follow me on either of my YouTubes. But for the most part, content wise, I'm just working on the new channel, unless you're following me on Patreon, where I drop content over there. But that is going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. As always, he is Fanboy Clay. I am Juice Wayne. And remember, Batman is awesome. News